Hey guys, TerrorPUP, and we are going to look at a very unique board that I was sent from Banana-Pi. This is the Banana-Pi P2 Pro. It is a very small board, as you can see, and I wanted to go over it, but it's very unique to me because when you start taking a look at it from side to sides, you notice that there's no HDMI. So this was very unique to me. I know other boards out there, they do that. And this was a learning experience. So let's go over this real quick. So we do have our 3.5 audio jack. We have here a USB 2, okay, a 100 megahertz Ethernet port, which will work with this power over Ethernet board that's here. We have a USB-C power in, and then we have our Bluetooth wireless chipset, our rock chip CPU, our 8 gigs of EMC. No, actually, this is the 256 yes, the 206 megs of memory. That's DDR3. Okay, our 40-pin GPIO, and then over on this side, and you can see I already have my UART cable hooked up, and we'll be using that to when the board launches. Okay, but this is 12 pins, and the pin 1 starts here, okay, here, closest to the CPU on the inside so that you can see. And so this is the odd, so 1 through 11 and 2 through 12. So we have our UAT on 1, 2, and I got a ground on 6, but I think it needs to be on 8 because the documentation shows it on 8. So what would you use this device for? Well, this has been touted as a Internet of Things, a intelligent voice recognition board, okay, a robotics controller, and I assume with that you can do that. So it has a lot of possibilities, but mainly what I'm going to show you today is how to get it up. Oh, by the way, on the bottom of the board, I didn't show that, we do have our SD slot, and right here is our 8 gigs of eMMC storage. So you can either use the SD slot or you can boot it up from eMMC. We are going to boot it up from eMMC. All right, let's bring up the web page. All right. So we're on the main page of the wiki, and I wanted to come over here so we could hop into it. I'm going to be posting a link to my wiki where you can follow along and click on the links over there for the product. But we're going to scroll down, and we're going to go to the single board computers, and I went ahead and highlighted it, and it's there. So if we click on this, it brings it over. And I want to point out one thing. They actually have 2 boards. The board I have has 256 gigs of memory. This one says 512. Okay. They also state that there are different size eMMCs. So I got lucky. The one I got has 8 gigs of storage. So this is designed to be running a small operating system. Something, I wish damn small Linux was still around, or Puppy Linux, because for this particular board, that would be awesome. So again, some of the stuff that they mention is ITO, intelligent speech recognition, man-machine interface, industrial controller, and robot, intelligent robot. So it is a Rockchip 3308BS. Okay, when I bring my board up, again, don't be surprised. Mine has 256, but the one that they are selling to the general public has 512 megabytes of DDR3. It does state here that it's 8 gigs, not the variety up there. I guess that's for commercial users. 40-pin GPIO, the UART cable, the SPI, IC2, IO, and etc. 100 megabit LAN, and it does support power over Ethernet. Unfortunately, I do not have a switch that supports power over Ethernet, so I won't be able to show it. I am looking around to see if I can find a model that I can afford. Okay, and it says support rich audio interface. And one of the things I didn't point out to you is there is supposedly a microphone already on it. I don't see where it is. Okay, from the jack. So on the diagram, sorry. So again, more detailed 40-pin IPO. There is the memory module. There's the 12-pin header, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. The LED, which this is unique because when I power it up, I will, I'm going to turn the camera on in the bottom, so as we're bringing it up, you can look at the board. It actually has all 3 colors here in this little circle. So when the board is powered off, it's red. When there's power to it, well, when the board is not active, it is red. When you power it back on or press the reset key, it will turn pink once it's up and running. You'll see that. Okay, our recovery key, reset key, our audio jack, again, USB 2, RJ45, USB-C for power in, and then, like I said, this module board over here is for your power over Ethernet. You don't need to get a header board, it's already there. The EMC module that I pointed out, and our card. And again, this board is very small. You can compare it to other boards. Okay. And I will let you guys go read through this. This is the pin IOs. And like I said, on mine, like I said, I have my RX cable hooked to the TX hooked up to the RX. You have to flip them, and they are on pins 3 and 1 and 3. 8 is a ground, but 6, there's no function here. So I guess I'm not doing any harm, but if I connected the red wire on my UART, we would be putting power through it. Okay, so, and then down here, there's information, the documentation, and where you can download images. All right, the first thing you're going to want to do, though, is you're going to want to go grab this image. And I recommend that unless you're in China or you can read Chinese, to use the Google Drive links, because the other, here, let's go back for a second. So Baibu, if that's how you say it, it's going to want to install an application. It took me a while to understand what was going on. And the app acts kind of like a client to help you download. So if you've used Mega Drive, it's kind of like that. But there's no way to translate the app. The app is all in Chinese. Maybe one day they will make an English version, but for right now, use the Google Drive. And again, you want to go grab the Debian 11. So click over here, and you're going to click download. And remember, anytime you're using a Google Drive, you must be signed in or it won't let you download. And we're getting the standard warning that it's a huge file and that it could be infected with viruses that could harm our computer. We're going to go ahead and say download anyway, and it is downloading. Now, back over here, I want to show you one other thing real quick. Okay. We need to find the rock chip SSD disk tool, and I apologize for that slip. Okay, so we really want to find it on Banana-Pi's page. So we're going to put Banana-Pi, and it should take us to the R2. Okay, the R2 Pro, which is fine. It works the same. So scroll down. And again, this is in my web page, and I will be putting the link below so you can follow along. So keep scrolling down, and right there's the link. And you want to download this to your computer too. And it takes it a minute for it to flip over. And this is off of their public page. So click download. Okay. And we are pretty much good to go. Okay. All right. And just real quick, I want to show you guys. And I'm not trying to, get a lot of hits and stuff like that. But if you come over to my page, like I said, if you can go to blogs, there is the setup, okay? And you can follow along. So right now we're going to stop. We're going to flip over to the desktop, and we are going to work to get this set up. Okay, so we have our desktop up. Let's go ahead and go to Explore, and we're going to go to Downloads. I'm going to copy this to my desktop just so I can easily find it. And I'm going to take the tool that we download. It's a zip file. If you double click in it, you will go into it. No need to extract it. You can do a copy, and then you can copy the files out of the zip anywhere you want. If not, what you need to do is right mouse click and say extract all, and we'll do that real quick, and it'll extract it for you. And as you can see now, it is extracted into my download folders. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this because we have the zip file. I know how to get it out. Okay. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into this folder, and we're going to click on the config file, and we're going to hit edit. I'm going to use Notepad. I like Notepad because it is it does syntax coloring. So normally there's a 1 here, but I was in another version, as you saw, that it was warning. So we want to change this 1, and 1 for the kanji that's right here is for Chinese, and a 2 over here is for English. So we're going to change that to a 2. We're going to come over here, we're going to hit that, and just go back into it and make sure it saved it. It did not. So let's go in one more time. Edit. Okay, it did save it. Okay, cool. Because this is... Anyway, we should be good. All right. So I'm going to go into here. One more, and I'm going to run the firmware tool. It's going to give me a warning because it's not signed. We're going to go ahead and say yes, and I was right. It did not save it. Not a problem at all. So let's go one more time. And this time, I'm just going to tell it to use Notepad from the Windows side. For some odd reason, it had a cache file. So we're going to hit that, and then we're going to hit save. And we're going to close it out. And we have to do that so that it opens, whoops, wrong one. So that it opens up in English. Now, right now, I don't have any SD cards, so we're going to pause it here for a second. I'm going to recommend that you use either an 8 gig or 16 gig, and the reason being is the file format that it writes out is in an Android file system, and it only writes out 8 gigs. So let's go ahead and pause right here, and we will find a SD card to flash to. Okay, so I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to use my SD card formatter. And I just want to remove the label, and we're going to hit format. We'll do a quick format. And it has eliminated it. And then now over here, I'm going to go ahead and tell it to use the 16 card reader. And we want to create an SD card boot. We want to select in this third option. And again, if I'm going too fast, follow my web page. It explains all the items here. The only difference between the web page and what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to be using the UART cable, or UART, as some of my friends. I'm going to be using that to connect to the device because at my desk here, I have not gotten my Banana-Pi R2 set up to do DHCP. So we are going to flash the device, get it up, and I'm going to show you guys a few things with it. And then I'm going to ask for input from you guys. Well, I'll go ahead and ask now. This board, after I get it set up and running, I'd like some recommendations from you guys on what you'd like to see running on it. Can't do emulations because no video out. So we're looking at something that is ITO. Okay, maybe I could try setting up the intelligent voice recognition, or I could do something a little bit more creative. Okay. Oh, okay. So now we're going to go to our desktop, and we're going to select the image. So we don't need to do a fourth, okay, but it's optional. So right now we're going to go ahead and hit create, and this will take about a couple seconds to write. Okay, it is copying the image to there. Now normally I like to use Etcher, and I want to show you guys something that was really confusing, because when I first got this board, I grabbed the disk image and I did my typical, let's grab Etcher, let's go ahead and start getting it up and running, but Etcher actually threw an error, and like I said, we'll wait till this is done, where it said couldn't find a bootable disk image. So if you guys watch a lot of small bore computers, um, modders out there like myself, okay, you probably know a guy named Nico D. Well, me and Nico D were talking on the Army Rock Chip channel, and he explained to me that I had to use the Rock Chip chip creator, okay, to get the file system up. And as you can see, it's complaining about a lot of little partitions that need to be made. And one of the things I'm going to give you guys an insight is it's creating the Linux file system like an Android file system. So it's creating a lot of small partitions. Okay, that's another reason I recommended you guys use a small small drive. Okay, so let me show you real quick. Here's Etcher. We're going to cancel out of that. We're going to go select a file. And yeah, guys, I do a lot of development at this desk. I'm really trying to learn more so I can share with you guys. So here's the Banana-Pi 2 Pro. We're going to select it. Okay. And there's the warning that you get. So please use the Rockchip Create Upgrade Disk. Okay. And remember, you want to create SD, okay, to boot it up. Now, before we move on, okay, I'm going to close this out, and we're going to go to session. I already have my USB cable, the UART cable. Like I told you, it is plugged up, ready to go. So, but I need to set up a session. So we're going to come over here, and I'm going to drop down, and I'm going to find it. And it's saying it's on COM8. And the baud speed is very important. So we're going to type 15 followed by 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the speed in which the cable is communicating with the board. Okay. We're ready there. I'm going to go ahead and make this window big. And I am going to stop for a minute because I want my overhead cam while we're filming this so you guys can see some stuff. So 1 second. Okay, so we're going to take the 16 gig SD card, go ahead and put it in. All right. The serial output that you see right now, it's nothing's loaded yet. I haven't hooked up the power. I want you guys to pay attention to the LED. The red is here, blue is here, green is here. So when it first initial comes on, you're going to see red. The blue is going to kick on, and then this is going to turn a pinkish purplish color, and then the green will flicker as to indicate that the system is active and up. Okay, so I'm using a Orange Pi power supply, 5 volts, 4 power. So it doesn't have to be Orange Pi. If you have a Raspberry USB-C power supply for Raspberry Pi 4, that will work. So let's go ahead and hook this up now. As you can see, there's the red. It is now the pinkish color, and you can see the red and blue, and the green is blinking. And on our serial screen, we can see that it is coming up. Now, one of the things that it's doing in this image, and I'm hoping, I'm going to try to reach out to the guy who wrote it. He's trying to load a display manager, which is, X. And for this board, I really don't recommend it, okay? Um, there's no Ethernet, as you can see on the camera. So right now, we're going to try to get wireless up. Now, the one thing it's going to do when you use the serial cable is it's going to dump you into root without a password, okay? And when we get wireless working, okay, and we SSH to the board, Lenaro is the user account, and Lenaro is... Okay, so real quick, we're going to do an IP-C for color, A for address, S for show. And yes, you can type it this short. You can type out address, or you can abbreviate it. And we're going to hit enter. Right now, the drivers for the wireless and Bluetooth are not loaded. So we're going to come back over here, and we're going to go to, let me show you, go back one page. So we're going to go starting with the P2 Pro. We'll click there, and you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. And we're going to take this, okay, and we're going to copy it. I wouldn't worry about any of this other stuff. What we need to do is get it where it loads up after reboot. I'm having issues with that, so if anybody has a recommendation, that would be cool. So we're going to go into bin, and I'm going to create a file real quick called Wi-Fi SH, and I'm going to say /bin/bash, paste, and we're inloading the drivers. Now I'm going to do a follow-up video because there's a couple things I want to point out real quick. I'm not able to change the locale on this. So a lot of the error messages are in Chinese, so I'm going to try to figure that out. And like I said, booting up the Wi-Fi. But just to show you that Wi-Fi is working, we are going to go ahead and save this file. We're going to make it executable real quick. Okay. And we're going to go ahead. No, actually, we'll go ahead and run it. And right now it's loading up the drivers. And because we ran VI, my session got changed. But real quick, I'm going to go into Network Manager, which is the easiest. And I'm going to delete these from earlier. So I want you guys to see what's going on. I was playing around with the serial output to see if I could actually get better output, but it's not working the way I want, and that's just because there's no incurse in serial. So anyway, we'll go ahead and hit active. We'll go ahead and select my network. We will put in my password, and we will press connect, and it's connecting. And for some odd reason, it's kicking out a bunch of, I believe that's ASCII. So that's why we're seeing it, because ncurse is running. And just to show you that Wi-Fi is up and running. We'll type our A for address, S for show, and we are up and running. Okay. So there will be a follow-up video because, like I said, there are a few things that right now I need to change, or the vendor needs to change. Hopefully others will start developing the OS, but the file system really needs to be like a true Unix. If we're, maybe they're doing this because it's easier for them to boot it up, but if we had a boot partition that points to the EFI and it loads up the drivers, like we do with our other devices, that would be better. ext2 is outdated. I wouldn't recommend it, but the vendor's using it. It must be because, again, Android supports it. I'm going to play around, see if I can uncomment those out and maybe rebuild a new partition putting this drive into another one. Okay. And I'll document it. If I can get it to come up and we have a bigger home directory and more space, then we can probably do some other things with it. I'm also going to try to reach out to Banana-Pi, see if they have like a display module that I could plug onto the GPIOs. I think that would be great to make this into a small little device. I'm thinking maybe display messages, error messages on my network, maybe set up like a monitoring tool, maybe set up the voice recognition. Probably need to find a small mic. I thought there was a mic on there. Now, one thing I want to point out with the overhead cam that I didn't show earlier, there is an onboard antenna that we could hook up here, and that probably would have helped with my the problems that I was having where the network was not connecting well. So I'm probably going to hook this up to the board and see if I can get a better connection going. But for now, guys, this was mainly to show you how to get it up and running. Okay. So until next time, this is TerrorPUP, and want to wish you peace.